It's the Big Rich Live on the Mike Radio Show here on YouTube. The real news and strong opinions given here. A platform to chop up game with the family, you dig?
What's good, people? What's good, people? Big Rich here, and welcome to Big Rich Live on the mic here on YouTube. This is the Hump Day edition, y'all. We're in the middle of the week. You know how we do. I just want to address something that people have asked via Twitter. Why wasn't there a African-American news program on Monday? And I said, well, I put that out Tuesday on our social media. I think I did it on our Facebook page, which is Dark Shadow Media TV. And also, I know I did it on Twitter, which is Dark Shadow Media, at Dark Shadow Media on Twitter. So follow us, in both of those so you can get updates and stuff like that. But I had a whole lot of stuff to do. I had action shoots. I had a women's basketball tournament Saturday. I had a men's and women's basketball. No, I'm sorry. I had a men's basketball tournament on Saturday. I had a men's and women's basketball tournament on Sunday. This coming weekend is going to be even worse. Got track meets, got a NASCAR setting, and I have basketball games and a family day for the Dueling Dragons. Whoop, whoop, Dueling Dragons this Saturday. And then I have a basketball tournament again on Sunday. So I'm going to be rather busy, but I'm going to try to do my best to pump them out and try to stay as close to on schedule as humanly possible. So with that said, like I said, this is the Hump Day show of the Big Rich Live on the Mike Radio Show. And when I talk about the topics, when you guys either ask me or I just put it out on these videos and stuff like that, I say, which is truthfully, I would say 95 to 96% of the subjects that I bring up, it is brought up and asked by you, the subscribers. But every now and again, I have something that just tugs at me, just digs me deep that I got to jump out and just talk about. It's just for my own therapeutic relations, you know what I'm saying? So I can keep straight without going crazy. And it's, I've listened to, quite a few other YouTubers on other YouTube channels giving their opinions. And I respect anybody's opinion, as long as it's based on fact, as long as it's not, I'm this and I'm that, so therefore I said it, so that makes it true. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear that. I just, that's not based on facts. So we can agree to disagree without being disagreeable. You know what I'm saying? I remember Reverend Al had said something that I always remember. He was like, we can have different opinions, but we can't have different facts. And I go by that mantra all the time. So we're going to bring up, and what I'm going to talk about is Michael Vick. Okay. Anybody who don't know Michael Vick, let's break it down. Michael Vick is or was a NFL quarterback. Started out in Virginia Tech as the greatest show on turf, really. People want to sit up there and talk about Johnny Manziel here in the last 5 to 6 years. Johnny Manziel ain't had shit on Michael Vick. Michael Vick almost single-handedly won the national championship against Florida State in the Sugar Bowl that year. He was just that dynamic. Then he was the first overall pick for the Atlanta Falcons, and for 6 years he was that. He was the bee's knees. You know what I'm saying? I mean, can throw a dart. Wasn't always accurate, according to himself, but he can throw a dart 70 yards in the air. A lot of these quarterbacks sit there, oh, well, I got a 100-yard pass I got a 60-yard pass, I got a 70, I got an 80-yard pass in my repertoire. Well, basically, no, it was a 40-yard pass, and then the wide receiver either out jumped or he was wide open, and he took it in the last 40 yards. You know what I'm saying? But Michael Vick could actually stand at the 10, the 15-yard line and get it to the 10, the 15-yard in the air on the other end of the field. That's just how dynamic he was. And he was, I'm not going to say he was the Allen Iverson of the NFL, but he was close. Came in with the cocky attitude, dark-skinned brother, had a really hard upbringing, no father in the home, had to look out for his younger brother, the cornrows, the goatee, he was just it. Then he got hemmed up with the dog fighting ring. They say that he wasn't into the dog fighting, but they say either he was there or he participated in the euthanizing of the dogs and whatever it might be. But these folks got together and put him. He spent 2 years. I think he said 420 days. I think that's what he said that he spent. Almost 2 years in prison for that. Then he came back out, dealing with all the racism and vitriol. First of all, you're black, and then you dare do something to dogs. That just shows you a large portion of this community, of this nation, cares about dogs than they do fellow human beings. You kill a human being, depending on which human being it is, but you hit a dog or you kill a dog, oh, they just up in arms. So anyway, make a long story short, he had to basically get on his hands and knees and beg the man to let him back in. And he came back, and I think he was in the league for another 6 years, 7 years, something like that. But Philadelphia, and then he went to Pittsburgh. He went to Philadelphia, then he went to the Jets, then he went to Pittsburgh and stuff like that, right? And then he finally retired. Well, anyway, he visited the Fox Sports 1 studios, which, let me tell you something. Out of all the African Americans that are on that network, first of all, remember, it's Fox, okay? This is Fox. There's the same people who sign the checks for Fox News, that racist propaganda machine, is the same people that cut the checks for Fox Sports 1. There's no delineation. There's no change. It's the same white supremacist bigots, the same thing. But on that network, I can only see 3 and a possible African Americans out of all the African Americans that come on there that speak truth to power, that has not lost their balls and on jumping on the coon train. And number one, first and foremost, is Shannon Sharpe. You got to give Shannon Sharpe. Do I agree with everything that Shannon Sharpe says? No. And you shouldn't. You should never agree with everything somebody says. You know what I'm saying? You should challenge them. Now, I'm not saying that you call a person a liar or you do anything like that, but you challenge the person. Hey, well, did you think about it this way? Oh, well, shoot, I didn't think about it that way. And that's what a dialogue is supposed to be. But Shannon Sharpe is first and foremost. And then Chris Broussard, at first, I thought when he was with Jason Whitlock and all of them, caping for the white lady who tried to use her privilege against LeVar Ball. Again, I am not a LeVar Ball fan. I think he's an idiot. But anyway, I digress. But when he basically called Jason Whitlock on him selling wolf tickets, I was like, okay, Chris, that's the Chris that I know. Let's give him back his brother card. And then Chris Carter, but Chris Carter can go either way. But I say all that to say this. He was on Monday, sorry. And he started out with Skip and Shannon on Undisputed. And his demeanor was not lethargic, but it was beaten. You know what I'm saying? It was hold your head down, I want to capitulate, really. You know what I'm saying? I want to basically blame all myself and nothing anybody else did or anything like that. So I was like, well, that don't seem like the Michael Vick that everybody has grown to know over the years. Then the Colin Kaepernick situation came up. And he rolled it down. Oh, well, he didn't have some good years. His last couple of years wasn't good. That's not true. I think even Skip, punk ass, said something to the effect, this was months ago, that there was only like 3 quarterbacks that had a better touchdown to interception ratio than he did. And one of them was Tom Brady. It was like Tom Brady, Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers. I think those were the three. Correct me if I'm wrong. He had 12 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He played on a horrible team. It wasn't like he was playing behind the line of Dallas Cowboys or playing in the Patriot system. I'm not saying that he could, but don't sit up there and say that he had horrible years. So that's the first one that's debunked. Then it was like he tiptoed and danced over the situation, which is the pink elephant in the room. The only reason Colin Kaepernick has not gotten a job here in the NFL is because of the stance that he took last year with kneeling for the anthem. And you have 32 predominantly older white males who did not like it. You have people like Jerry Jones talking about, this is my team, all my players going to stand. Really? Really? Where's that in my contract? Because if I'm a high paid athlete on that team, I was like, well, Jerry, I guess you need to get ready to either release me outright, trade me, because you can't find me. But I'm a man. This is freedom of speech. You're not going to make me do. But anyway, I digress. That's just going off on a tangent. Dan Snyder, a lot of these Caucasian males, older, felt that how dare he? How dare he? Just like a lot of people, black and white, mostly Caucasians, but some black people that was sitting up there was like, you making millions of dollars. What do you got to complain about? Colin Kaepernick wasn't complaining about it for itself. Colin Kaepernick was in a position and on a stage to talk for marginalized people. I am upper middle class, okay? To the grace of God. I'm middle class to upper middle class, right? I don't have to work. Basically, that's what the deal is. I don't have to work if I don't want to pay my bills, to pay for my house, cars, gas, stuff. I don't have to do that. I work because I'm 49 years old and I'm not trying to sit around for the rest of my days. I figure I got about a good 30 years to go that I can really do something with. I'm not trying to lay on my ass and get 500-600 pounds and do nothing. So I work because I enjoy it. I can only work and do what's make me feel good, which makes me happy, and that's what I do every day. So I have no problem getting up and go to work. But I was proud of Colin Kaepernick because he did not have to put his prestige, his career, anything like that. He could have been like, hey, just like the rest of the $1 million slaves that are in the NFL. He could have been like, it's not bothering me what I'm worried about. But he was like, he goes with the adage, and I'm not trying to make him out as a prophet or anything, because he's made some mistakes, i.e. wearing Fidel Castro's picture on a shirt that he wore when he was addressing the media. I think that was insensitive, and I think that was sort of ignorant. That was a bad look. So he has done something when, sometimes you just don't articulate something, when he was saying, which was true, when he was saying that Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton are pretty much the same. Well, they're not just the same. You know that, would African Americans got considerably more under Hillary Clinton than Donald Trump? No. But we wouldn't have got less. You feel what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you just don't. Sometimes certain things are not for articulation in public in front of companies. It's just not. So Colin has made mistakes, but if you're not proud of him, especially if you look like me, if you're not proud of him, you have a problem. You have a problem because he didn't have to do it. So getting back to Michael Vick, so never, not once did he say that. Never, not once did he even say that Colin Kaepernick is black born. Stevie Wonder Ray Charles, God rest his soul, could see that Colin Kaepernick had been blackballed, all 32 owners and the commissioner who works for the owner have colluded together to force him to keep him out. Period. You trying to say that Blaine Gabbert, Josh McCown, Mike Glennon, what's his name? Mark Sanchez, Geno Smith, that they're all better than Colin Kaepernick? What are you smoking? But they all got jobs. So not once. So I was very disappointed when he said that, right? And then the Raleigh Cooper thing came up, and you know, whatever. You know, I don't even want to touch that, you know, because I felt that was something that he either shouldn't have got involved with, which he had no choice because he was the quarterback of the team, but he should have never caped for him. I don't give a damn. That's the thing is, and I'm going to go off on a little tangent, just a little bit, because I want to get to what he said later on in Speak for Yourself. We was on Twitter today, right? And there was actually it was Tariq Alik page, right? Tariq Nasheed's page, his Twitter page. And he had put out this satire, this American Bandstand satire is basically the alt-right bandstand. You know, he had put out something early last year, before the quote-unquote Coon Awards, that was the Coon Train, you know, so it was based on Soul Train. So it was funny and everything, but it had pictures of people who, through deeds, videos, and associations that they have, you know, are suspected white supremacists. So he put it on there. Well, this one female, and you can see, you know, she said that she was black. You know, she had her avatar was, it looks like a husband and her son, right? You know, good looking family and all that. And she out here caping, and I can't remember which one it was, but she was out here caping for this. Oh, well, he's not a racist. Well, how do you know? Well, he's just not a racist. He said all of that racist stuff because right after she said that, Tariq posted a video that he did some years ago, basically just spewing all sorts of racist hate and bigotry and all that type of stuff, right? And right after that, she was like, well, he said that years ago when he was a teenager or he was younger. Have you ever made any mistakes? You know, he's not a racist. I listen to him every day. And that means what? Because you have been snowed in. Let me tell you something. Unless, because let me say that first, and then I say it. No, I will say it. The word racist. Look up the word racist. In this country, only one race can be racist. That's the Caucasian race can be racist. Racism is evil intent, trying to keep people down based on their skin color from people who have power to do that. See, I think a lot, especially my Caucasian brothers and sisters, they get racists and bigots mixed up. Anybody can be a bigot. Anybody. You have African-American bigots who are bigoted against other African-Americans because of their skin color. You know, we just had a controversy with some rapper, whatever the hell his name is, darker than me, basically saying that he don't like black bees. You know, he just like them white, light, and bright and close to white, that type of stuff. That's bigotry towards darker skinned people. There's bigotry towards different races, different colors, different sexual orientations. Anybody can be a bigot. Only a community, a race that is empowered, that can enforce things. If I call you, I'm African American. If I call a Caucasian American a racial slur, that's all that is. It's a racial slur. I have no power to put them or lock them out of any type of opportunity. You follow what I'm saying? So what I say is, with the Raleigh Cooper, I bring that up with the Raleigh Cooper thing, is he was saying, oh, well, that's just not the Raleigh Cooper I know. That is the Raleigh Cooper that you know. He just was never dumb enough and never drunk enough to utter those words in front of you. I bet you he still used that word from time to time when he gets angry. He's just going to make sure that he never gets filmed or audio taped saying it. You feel what I'm saying? So the fact that he caped for him, I have a problem with that. Now that leads me back to the thread. Back and forth, Tariq is just being him, but he's being very, very, professional. He's like, look, he's like, ma'am, obviously he has convinced you, but he has not convinced me. And until that happens, then he will remain a suspected white supremacist. So she went back and forth, and then basically Tariq let it go, and then somebody else jumped in. And I finally chimed in. I was like, look, I said, what bothers me the most is with this whole thread is black folks caping for white people that they don't even know. Remember, we put last week's show, I can't even remember which one it was, but I spoke about the Washington Examiner opinion piece saying that the two Orlando police officers involved in stopping the state attorney weren't racist. Well, how do you know? You don't know. You don't know. You have no idea if these people, it's like, I think the biggest thing, the devil, I think about that analogy, the biggest con the devil ever done or committed was to convince people that he was not alive, that he did not exist. You feel what I'm saying? So I figured that was going to happen. So, when you have a situation where you're caping for somebody who doesn't look like you, you do not know them, and you are speaking in absolutes. We're the only ones that do that shit on a general basis. There are some Caucasians that'll sit up here and say, well, no, that person is not this, that person is not that. That person's not a bigot or this, that, but they don't do it as a collective. We're the only ones trying to forgive people, trying to sit up there and cape for people. You follow what I'm saying? And I'm not caping for nobody. Nobody. I don't give a damn. I'm not. You have one chance to prove to me, especially if you're Caucasian, if you're African American, whatever. You have one chance to prove to me if you're a racist or bigot. Now, if I see something like when Justin Bieber was younger, singing that N-word song, right? And then now he was like, look, I was an asshole. I was a little shit. I was a racist. But I know better now. I understand what's going on. I apologize. It has never happened since, and it will not ever happen again. Now I can start believing you. I'm still not caping for you. And caping means signing off, co-signing. I'm not doing that for you. But I'd be more apt to be like, okay, well, he was a suspected white supremacist. Now he's done the work. He's articulated his troubles, what had happened. Okay, cool. I can roll with that. Let's keep it moving. But that's why I was disappointed in Mike Vick. So that's two things that I saw the scratching my head for. And I remember just leaning back in my seat, and I was like, don't tell me that Mike Vick then went full coon. Don't tell me he's sitting up there cooning. Okay, now what threw the last bit of dirt on his coffin, in my opinion, is when he went on the Speak for Yourself show. Now, I do not watch Speak for Yourself because of one person, that self-hating, fat, coon-ass Negro, Jason Whitlock. Okay? If I was in my former life, I wouldn't have used Negro. I'll leave it at that. Okay? I'll leave it at that. Jason Whitlock is a hateful man, and he represents nobody but himself and his white masters. This is just what it is. Yeah, you can get pissed off or whatever, but that's just what it is. I have yet to meet anybody of African American descent that's true in the game, that likes him, respects him, or even listens to him. You don't agree with me? You think that I'm being facetious or I'm embellishing? Google Jason Whitlock and look at how many videos come out just shining on his cooning, that they can't stand him. Now, I haven't gotten to the point of can't stand him like I am with Steve Harvey. See, Jason Whitlock is in his own little world. Not too, a few people, you know, when I mean a few people, a couple 100,000 people, you know, a couple, maybe 300,000-400,000 people watch Jason Whitlock, right? But millions of people watch Steve Harvey. So Steve Harvey is very dangerous, very dangerous. But anyway, I digress. So he was on that show, and I didn't watch it, but somebody thankfully sent me a clip and said, Rich, what do you think about this? So let's hit the clip, and I won't play any. I'm not playing nothing from Fox News. Nothing. Fox, nothing. Kiss my ass. And he said the first thing that Colin Kaepernick needs to do is clean up and cut his hair. What? Then I finally realized that Mike Vick has totally capitulated to the man and has totally turned in his brother card, and he is now a straight coon. How do you sit up? I have the utmost disdain and disgust for people, especially black people, who sit around here and try to make other African-American people think that having afros, think that having cornrows, think that having African, not African-American, African haircuts and dues is a problem. We are the only ones that sit over here and try to capitulate. Oh, well, you know, I don't want to look a certain way. I want to make sure Massa, you know, looks down on me and throw me some crumbs. How does a man who came into the league with some of the cleanest, some of the baddest cornrows I've ever seen, how do you say cut your hair? How? I mean, that is what Caucasian Americans say to us. But see, they can't say it. So see, Mike Vick gets up there and he says it because Kyle Hurd couldn't have said that. No, sir. He might have said, well, damn, that's a lot of hair. He might have said something like that. But to tell Colin Kaepernick that he needs to cut his hair, the first thing he needs to do is cut his hair. I'm like, bruh, really? I mean, just really, and you know, fat ass Jason Whitlock just co-signing that bull crap because he get all of the crumbs of his daily bread from Massa. So if he can get somebody who is of higher stature than him, that looks like him, to also beg for butter biscuits, that's what he gonna do. So, you know, I truly don't know where this comes from for Mike Vick, and I'm just tired of it. You know, I'm tired of, and I don't know. Let me just say this. Let me just say it because somebody made this point to me a couple of weeks ago, actually, and it was like, Rich, I understand where you're coming from, and you're 100% right. But what you fail to realize is that you are middle-aged. I'm 49, you know, and these are kids. So it's kind of hard to put them on the same level as you because they haven't experienced what you've gone through. You know, they haven't evolved, if you will. They haven't become conscious and start looking at the big picture and stuff like that. So I definitely understand where they're coming from on that, and I give that. You know, I hold on a second. Sorry about that. Had to send a real text real quick. My dog is again barking again, and I'm hoping that you know, my wife will get her to calm down and stuff. But anyway, getting back to what I'm saying, I understand that. I truly do. But first of all, Michael Vick is not a child. Michael Vick is what, in his mid-30s? I mean, I'm not that freaking older than Mike Vick, so Mike Vick should know better. Jason Whitlock the same way. Jason Whitlock is almost as old as I am because he went to college with one of my boys, right? And so he should know better. But again, it is what it is. What are you gonna do? It's just horrible. It's just stupid. But I am tired of black people, African American people on these network, ESPN, Fox Sports Next, Fox Sports 1, all of them, basically just black people, just white people in blackface. You get them, they come in and they're making that money, and it's, okay, we're going to cut your balls off. We need you to say what we can't say. We need you to toe the line. It's like one after another, the Jason Whitlocks, the Stephen A. Smiths, I'm not even gonna put Rob Parker, because Rob Parker looks like he could. The Ray Lewis's, these type of cats. When I was looking at First Take, which I don't, but I was looking at First Take a couple of clips yesterday, and these three brothers in here, Sambo Coonan, half shoe Coonan and stuff. It's like, I don't even want to see it no more. I just don't even want to see it anymore. Before, when I was younger, you used to be like, yeah, I can put on ESPN. I mean, I'm telling you, when I was younger, I used to have ESPN on from dusk to dawn, or dawn to dusk, whatever it is. Oh man, I can watch Stephen A. Smith. I can watch, this person. I can watch that person who looks like me. That's not good anymore. It's not good anymore. It's not good enough anymore. And I'm not saying that you go there with the fist up and the cornrows or whatever. I'm not saying that. Then again, if you got some cornrows in there and they tighten up and you got the edges all lined up, why not? That's part of our culture. You get everything, or like they say in the South, you get the butter and the duck. I don't know what the hell that means, but still. But you get in there and they just lose their nuts. But again, and I say they, I'm talking about the dominant society. I'm talking about the owners of Fox, the owners of Disney. They do that for a reason. They understand that there is a large portion of black males who are unemployed. So they're sitting at home. So they want you to tune in. They want you to buy things. They want you to basically to be indoctrinated, if that's a word, if I said it right, to what they want you to know and what they want you to feel. So you're not going to sit up there and watch, especially with sports, which is dominated by African Americans. You're not going to sit up and watch a bunch of Caucasians talk about You're just not going to do that. So they get these black people, these African Americans that are Sambo, soft shoe cooners, and they put them out there. You're not getting anything because they're not furthering your. The only person, because Stephen A. Smith, I don't know if he's changed what he said here recently, but I know as far as a month, 2 months ago, he was on First Take talking about, no, Colin Kaepernick has not been blackballed. What the hell are you talking about? I've only heard one person jump out there and say that because and I don't even think he said it because he's black, but it was because of what he stood for, or what he tried to do for police brutality and stuff like that last year. And that was Shannon Sharp. Everybody else is soft shoe cooning, don't want to actually sit up there and say what it really is. And when you are that, because let me tell you something, everybody loves money. You should, because money makes the world go round. Power, money and power. So I'm not telling you to lose your job, but you have to understand that, hey, I'm a call it out. I need to know, okay, look, this is what I want. Okay, you want me to whatever it might be, this, that, and the other, Okay. I'm down for this, but you need to understand that I'm going to speak my piece. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit around here and throw softballs. If it's some bullshit go down, whether black or white, I'm going to call it out. So let me know if that's going to be a problem. Let me know if that's going to be a problem. And then we'll see what it is. We'll see how it is. Now, can an intern say that? Hell no. But a Michael Irvin, you know, a Shannon Sharp, because they've been on for a while, they could do that. They can do that. I know one of the guys was Bart Scott, and then another brother played defensive line for the Jets. You know, real good brothers. Don't get me wrong, real good dudes. But they not going to sit up there and stand out and say what needs to be said. And that's what pisses me off because, like I said, they acting like white people or Caucasian people in blackface. And I have an issue with that. Getting back to Michael Vick, all that soft shoe cooning you did, brother, all of that bullshit that you said, there's a large part of the Caucasian community who still hate you because of them dogs. Still hate you because you got all that money. Still hate you because you can do things that they could only dream of. But you did that for what? So you turned off your people. Right? You turned off your people to do what? To try to appease people who can't stand your black ass in the first place? I don't know what else to say. I really don't. I don't know what else to say. As far as that concerned, it is what it is. You know, he got to live in his own space. You know, whatever that is, you got to sleep at night. If that makes you feel better and you able to sleep at night, more power to you, brother. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm through defending you. You know, I know who defended you from the word jump. It was people who look like you. Maybe you might want to remember that next time you decide to open up and tell somebody else who looks like you that they need to capitulate and they need to be on their hands and knees, basically without saying that, to get some butter biscuits. You feel me? So that's pretty much it. I'm hoping that we get back to a rotation. Like I told you, Friday's supposed to be What's the Real Deal. Then we have Saturday's show. I'm going to try to get to it as best I can. If I can't, understand me that, you know, I'm out here trying to make this paper, trying to build this business. Speaking of my business, Behind the Lens Productions, LLC, out of Orlando, Florida. Hire us. We do weddings. We do action shoots. We do photo shoots. We do video shoots, indoor, outdoor. We have access to a studio 24 hours. Our business model is, hey, the customer's right, and we're going to do everything humanly possible to make sure that they have the best experience with us. Check us out at www.btlenswithansproductions.com. I wish I had the number, but I don't have the number. And I should say this number. Remember, the 1-800 number is 1-800-591-4548. That's 1-800-591-4548. Call us, leave your comment, leave your question, and we'll get back to it. I'm trying to think. Oh, our number for BT Behind the Lens Productions is 407-245-7301. That's 407-245-7301. We will travel. So in the meantime, in between time, stay blessed. Stay blessed. Stay safe. Stay woke. Peace. Your boy out.